Hey friend, welcome back to Biz with Liv. I'm Olivia, your social media coach and creator bestie. And around here, we're all about turning simple content into clients, cash, and freedom without burning out. If you're a busy business owner who feels like there's never enough time for marketing, this episode is for you. We're going to talk about how to actually fit content creation into your real life, not your imaginary perfect week. Let's be honest. Most business owners don't struggle with content because they don't care or aren't creative. They struggle because their life is already full. You're juggling client work and delivery, admin, emails and operations, offers, launches, and keeping the cash flowing. And then someone on the internet tells you to post 3 reels a day, and it feels like a whole extra job. So here's a shift I want you to make. I want you to go from saying content is extra. Content isn't extra. For a modern business owner, content is sales activity. It's how you educate your audience, build trust at scale, and pre-sell your offers before anyone ever books a call. You do not need a content day or 20 open hours a week. You need micro pockets of time and a simple system that respects your current season. Content creation should wrap around your life, not the other way around. In this episode of Biz with Liv, we're going to break down a simple content rhythm specifically for busy business owners and show you how to create content in 10 to 30-minute pockets around your existing workload. By the end, you'll know exactly when to create, what to create, and how to make it realistic for your life. Most creators wake up and decide, today I want to film content. Maybe you just have that burst of inspiration, something makes you think, I'm going to do it, this is the day, I'm going to pick up my camera, I'm going to film, and I'm going to go viral, right? And then in one sitting, you try to brainstorm ideas, record the videos, write captions, and publish. That's like trying to write, cook, and clean at the same time. Of course, it's going to feel heavy. Instead, I want you to think about content in 3 separate phases. Phase 1, brainstorming. In this phase, you decide what to talk about. Phase 2, recording. In this phase, you film the videos. Phase 3, publishing. In this phase, you post, write captions, and hit share. Your job is to separate these phases and give each one its own kind of time block. Let's dive into phase 1, brainstorming. We can call it CEO time. Once a week, maybe Monday morning, I want you to spend 15 to 20 minutes as the CEO of your business and ask, what am I selling or promoting this week? What questions came up from clients? And what mistakes do I keep seeing people make? From this, list 10 simple video ideas in your notes app. Okay, a few pro tips from my extensive experience as a content creator. As I mentioned, I've been creating content since 2017. So I'll share with you a few things I've learned. Okay, so 3 pro tips. Pro tip number 1, brainstorm during uninterrupted quiet pockets of your day. I'm a mom of 2 kids under 3, so my home is usually loud and chaotic. But when I take the kids out on a stroller walk, I suddenly have 1 to 2 hours where my hands are busy, but my mind is clear. It's my favorite time to brainstorm. I open the voice memo app on my phone and just talk through ideas, stories, and hooks. Later, I use AI tools to turn those messy voice notes into a clean, structured script with just a few clicks. If you have time to take a walk, I think it's a perfect period to brainstorm. If you commute to and from work every day, you have a built-in brainstorming window too. A 20-minute drive can become your CEO content time, where you safely use hands-free voice notes to capture ideas as you go instead of trying to squeeze creativity into the 5 minutes before you hit record. Pro tip number 2, Focus on simple ideas plus stories, not just generic advice. Your audience wants your specific experience. They want you to share your wisdom, your lived experiences. This is what separates you from every other online guru. Let's use the example of a finance coach. Instead of saying, you should track your spending every month, I want you to tell a story. For years, I told clients to track their spending, and most of them nodded and then never did it. One client, a teacher in her 30s, always felt bad with money and swore there was nothing left to save at the end of the month. When we finally got a chance to sit down and I looked at her numbers, we found almost $280 a month going to small things she didn't really care about. 3 unused subscriptions, daily delivery fees, and impulse Amazon buys. I didn't ask her to become a spreadsheet person overnight. Instead, we set one tiny rule. Every Sunday, she'd spend 10 minutes looking at her bank app and writing down 3 numbers. How much came in, how much went out, and one thing she wanted to change next week. 3 months later, she'd paid off her credit card and started her first emergency fund just from redirecting that $280 she never knew she had. It's the same advice. Track your spending, but in a way that actually fits her real life. That's where your lived experiences come in. You can talk through pain points in a way that resonates with your clients because you had direct experience speaking to them. All right, so the story shows a real client situation. It also gives a concrete, simple system. In this story, it's 10 minutes on Sundays, 3 numbers. Spend 10 minutes every Sunday, review 3 numbers. And then third, this story helps followers see themselves and think, I could do that too. When you're brainstorming, I want you to plug any topic into this structure. 1, simple idea. For example, always pay yourself first. 2, your story. For example, here's what happened when a client didn't do X and what changed when we did. 3, takeaway. For example, here's the ultra simple version you can start this week. Pro tip number 3 when it comes to brainstorming, notice where you get energy. Maybe you think best while walking, driving, or doing a stroller walk with your kids, in which case, use your voice memo app and dictate ideas instead of forcing yourself to sit at a desk. There's even research from Stanford showing that walking can boost creative output by around 60%, so those walks and commutes are actually prime brainstorming time, not wasted time. All you need is 10 to 15 minutes of uninterrupted time to walk away with 5 to 10 ideas. Let's dive into phase 2, recording. The goal here is to have 1 main block and 1 backup. Let's do this in 4 steps. Step 1, choose 1 main block in your week, around 45 to 60 minutes where your only job is to record. 2, have 2 to 3 outfits ready to go. If you want variety in your videos, it could be as simple as just changing your top. You could wear the same dark blue pair of jeans. Nobody's going to notice, but at least have variety in terms of what people see on camera. So that's the top part of your outfit. 3, film a few short videos back to back. It just depends on the nature of your content. Some content is so simple. So if your focus is like those looping reels, you can easily knock out 5 to 8 short videos. But if your content is slightly more thought out, direct to camera talking videos, then even 3 videos is plenty. All right. So aim to film anywhere from 3 to 10 videos back to back. 4, don't chase perfection. Aim for clear and done. I cannot emphasize this one enough because when I started filming content, I wanted perfection, and then I could spend hours and hours on a video. And I have learned from many years of creating content that the more time you put into a video, the more likely it will flop. And somehow those videos where you just turned on the camera and said, let me tell you a story, those are the ones that always go viral. This point might seem obvious, but I really do want to emphasize it. Don't chase perfection. Aim for clear and done. It's okay if you've misspoken. It's okay if you said It's okay if you think you're a little bit awkward. It's a little bit quirky. It's all right because your audience, they want to see the real you. They want to see how you communicate on a day-to-day basis. All right? They're not looking for a robotic, AI, perfect person. They just want someone real. So don't chase perfection. Aim for clear and done. If you're client-facing or used to getting ready multiple days a week, recording will be easier than you think. Record right after work, before calls, or when you're already put together. For business owners with a bit more control over the calendar, I recommend one main recording block, 60 minutes long, and one backup block, which is 20 to 30 minutes later in the week, in case something comes up during your main recording block. For busy parents, I recommend recording before work, after school drop-off, or during one quiet evening when the kids are asleep. My personal preference is complete silence, so typically I would have to record once my kids are sleeping in the evenings, but it all depends on what works for you and your household. Even 20 to 30 minutes is enough to batch 3 to 5 quick videos. Let's dive into phase 3. All right, this is the fun part, right? So you put in the work, you've come up with a script, you've set up your outfits, you've filmed, and now it's ready to share with the world. How exciting. Okay, I recommend that you delegate publishing if you can to a virtual assistant. So assuming you already have somebody in the office who's your assistant, this is something that you can push to their work stream. But let's say you are not in that situation just yet. You don't already have someone or you cannot afford to hire someone. You can attach publishing to habits that you already have. For example, your morning coffee at your desk, a lunch break, or the time you'd normally be scrolling at night. You do not need a full hour to post. You just need 5 to 10 minutes. Here's the thing. As you spend more time editing videos, you'll start to see that there are certain things that just always work. So it really will become 5 to 10 minutes once you've had a little bit of practice. At the beginning, it will probably be a bit longer as you're still figuring out how to do this. But as you keep going with social media, it really is just 5 to 10 minutes because that's how long it takes me to post. All right, so in that 5 to 10 minutes, pick one drafted video, quickly trim it as needed, add a simple caption and 3 to 5 hashtags, and finally hit post. Or better yet, schedule it for your ideal posting time so it goes out even when you're busy doing other things. All right, so for parents, this might be while you're in the car line, you're sitting at sports practice, or waiting at the dentist's office. The whole point that I am trying to communicate here is that you're not finding extra time, you're repurposing moments that already exist. To pull this all together, when you separate brainstorming, recording, and publishing, content stops feeling like a massive project and becomes a few small scheduled tasks that support your revenue. Treat your content like checking email or sending invoices, non-negotiable and scheduled. Before we wrap up this episode, here's the mindset shift I want you to make. Stop saying, I'll create content when I have a free day or whenever I feel like it. Start saying, I create content in 10 to 20 minute pockets. You don't need perfection. You need consistency that matches your current capacity. When you lower the bar from perfect studio video to clear, helpful 30-second clip, you suddenly realize you do have time. You just needed a lighter way to show up. If you're a busy business owner thinking, okay, Olivia, I get the system, but I need a ready-made plan to actually execute, I have something for you. My social media playbook for busy business owners is your done-for-you roadmap that will help you move away from random posting to gaining consistent leads in 30 days or less. I wrote this playbook for small business owners tired of post and pray, solopreneurs who want leads without 24/7 content creation, and coaches/content creators ready to turn social media into revenue. This playbook will give you a system that scales without hiring a full-time team. In the playbook, you will learn best practices regarding brand positioning and messaging for social media, a breakdown of the various platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You will receive plug-and-play video ideas to use for the next 90 days, as well as caption templates that turn views into DMs and inquiries, and even a hashtag strategy tailored to your niche. So if you're done posting randomly and ready to post strategically, grab your copy of the playbook. Just tap the link in the show notes or video description down below. And if today's episode gave you even one idea you can actually use this week, I'd love it if you hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, and share this with another business owner who keeps saying they don't have time for content. You do have time. You just need a playbook that matches your life. I'm Olivia, this is Biz with Liv, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.